That's it.
Yeah.
That was actually kind of funny. Swadikap Tukon. Hello everybody. Welcome to another video of ours. This is Lewis. Make sure to subscribe to his channel on the bottom in the link below. Okay. He's known for biking around Thailand quite a bit, and actually other countries as well.
More recently, I'm trying to make more kind of travel videos around Thailand and Bangkok, where I live.
So we decided today that we're going to make a video on the 7 things that we wish we did differently, and we suggest that you guys do differently upon coming to Thailand.
We even made a list, so fucking subscribe.
Yeah, there's a point to that.
First tip is that you don't have to come through an agency if you're coming here to work, like most people are doing. So most people come here to teach, and they think, first thing, the only way I can get in is to go for an agency, which is what we did.
Yeah.
Suckers.
It was like $1,000 US to, it was pointless.
And basically, when we got here, we had an orientation in Bangkok. We were teaching in the same school. That's why we lived together for the first year. And I thought all that cost that we paid basically mostly went towards this hotel and this
orientation that we needed to take, I guess. Which I think one of the main reasons why I did it is because I was afraid that there was a lot more that I didn't know, and I needed an agency to help me.
And just to give an example, my recent job, I sent out an email and they actually responded to me in 5 minutes, literally 5 minutes, asking me to come in for an interview. So it's very informal, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Which also means that you have the option to decide where you want to go, as well as what type of job you want.
Yeah, if you go for an agency, they're basically going to randomly pick your location. Well, first of all, we'll tell you what websites you can use.
Oh yeah, so use ajan.com. That's one of the better ones to use in terms of finding a decent job. You can change the salary that you want, as well as if you want it to be full-time or part-time. And sometimes they choose other jobs, not just teaching jobs, that are on there as well. There are things like Facebook groups that you can find on there that are legitimate and all that stuff. And trust me, just make sure you check out the school beforehand, or before you accept a job. All right, that's one thing I would suggest. So the next one I would say is find your own place when you get here, for sure. This one again was mixed in with the fact that we had an agency, and not that I didn't mind living with this guy, sort of. He was a pain. No, it was actually a great time, if I'm going to be serious.
Yeah, well, we got lucky because I guess the owner of the apartment was a teacher at our school. So we got to stay in a place that was a new townhouse. It's quite nice, but we heard some stories of other people living some shitholes, really. So,
exactly.
So the websites I'd recommend for if you want to find a place is, there's one called hipflat.com. Can you think of any others? I forgot the name.
Well, to be honest, for the most part, I just kind of look online, just on Facebook in general.
Oh, Facebook. Third tip is it sounds pretty obvious, you'll probably get it in most videos, but learn some Thai before you come to Thailand. It's fucking obvious, right?
Yeah,
but a lot of people, including myself, didn't do it. I knew 2 words before I came to Thailand, as I was telling you last night. When you got here, you're a bit lost. So if you learn just a little bit, it can really go a long way. And if you can show people you're putting in some effort to speak in Thai, you'll be received a bit better. I mean, Thais are very nice anyway, but you put a bit of effort.
I think the worst examples is whenever you see people lived here way longer than us, and they don't know a single bit of Thai.
Yeah, they walk into supermarkets and say hello and thank you in English. I'm like, come on, you could at least say
Swadikap.
And lived here for 10 years plus. So what do we recommend for learning Thai? Casey made a different video on this.
Oh yeah, so feel free to look at how I learned Thai on my channel. I also have a suggestion on reading as well. But just to give a quick overview, definitely for your first book should be Learning Thai for Beginners. All right. I don't have that book with me right now.
I actually have it in my bag.
All right. Well,
it's all the way over there. So.
Yeah. Okay. I'll run and grab it if you want. Yeah.
Oh, here it is. Whoa. Right. Thai for Beginners.
Yeah. That's the book. It looks like it's used too, which is good.
This is how a book should look after 2 years. I pull it out occasionally.
Yeah, but that's that book right there is got enough to kind of get you going.
That's got about 750 words roughly, but it's definitely enough to impress your friends that they come over to visit.
Well, yeah, yesterday we were having a drink with some of my Thai sword friends, and that's always a weird thing to say, but
That's a sentence I thought I'd never hear.
Yeah, it's not often you hear that kind of stuff. But you were holding up pretty good.
Yeah, I pretty much learned exclusively from that, and I picked up other words in conversation, like more kind of what do you call it, like street talk kind of thing.
Oh
like,
yeah, slang.
Yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, mostly from that, and yeah, I could hold some conversations anyway. So yeah, that's good. And then also we were talking earlier about some other apps you could use, like Hello Talk.
Oh yeah.
Is one I've used. Hello Talk's basically, it's free. You can download it, get it on your phone, and you can have some conversations with other language learners. The good thing is as well, like we've got loads of Thai people learning English, but not that many people learning Thai. Like
yeah.
So you're like supply and demand. You're way ahead. Like you've got a big advantage because loads of people who want to talk to you.
Absolutely, yeah. And basically, just a simple exchange of languages. That's all it is. Like if you're willing to teach them some English, then you can learn Thai in exchange. You know?
Exactly. And there's italki as well.
Yeah, that's mine when I use most of the time. I love Hello Talk, but I use italki quite a bit, and recently I've been using that to learn Japanese as well. But yeah, that one has kind of the similar setup. What they're really good at is finding tutors for you, and you have to pay for those people, but the service itself is free, and you can find partners to like talk with on there as well, same way as Hello Talk. But what I like them the best for is that if you need like a professional tutor to like pay not like a ton of money, just like just like $10 for an hour kind of thing. That's where I would use.
Yeah, it's worth it. Mainly just to keep you motivated.
Yeah, absolutely.
To kind of guide you a bit.
So fourth point, get used to spicy food. I like that one a lot actually, and that's one that's not okay. If you're kind of like if you don't like spicy food in general, I don't even know why you'd be going to Thailand.
Well, I guess I didn't mind spicy food, but I never really would choose to eat it.
Oh, I see that.
Now I actually like it. Like I prefer something spicy. If something comes to me bland, I find it boring.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Go to a Thai restaurant as well. And practice your Thai in a Thai restaurant. We've got to say that.
Oh yeah. Well, so that goes hand in hand right there.
Thai restaurants are basically, even when you live here, like I find that's a really good way to learn. I've heard lots of people doing that before. And if you're lucky enough to have a Thai restaurant near your area where you live, then take advantage of it. And even if you spend money, that basically they can be your teachers basically.
Yeah.
And you get food as well. So. Point number 5 is don't take the job too seriously. If you're coming here to teach, most likely coming here to teach English. Like for myself, I thought I was coming here like I'm going to make a massive difference to these children's lives. And I'm going to inspire them, and they're going to be speaking fluent English. Riding a bicycle. But in reality, there's so many barriers in the way.
The screen broke off, and I have nowhere to show my movie, so I have to use this tape to try to put it up there because there's nobody to fix it. And on top of this, I have to wear a Santa hat. So yeah, this has been my day.
And it's just if you take it too seriously, you're just going to stress yourself out.
Yeah.
You're not necessarily going to be a better teacher. Actually, you're going to be worse.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Just to be clear, it's not saying don't try to teach the kids, obviously, and all that stuff. When we mean by don't take it too seriously, yeah, exactly. Don't stress yourself out. Often the amount of things that you get aren't enough to help these kids.
So I think you have to be like realistic with your expectations. If you've got a class of 50 students in a hot room, and all you've got is a chalkboard, really how far are you going to go? So I think that the main thing you want to focus on is just making the lesson enjoyable for your students. And have some goals and stuff like that. But if you take it too seriously and stress yourself out, your students aren't going to enjoy it, and they're not going to be enthusiastic about learning English.
So the next one, let's see. So this kind of goes along with a lot of the things that we've been talking about, but keep an open mind when you come to this country, and this means for the job, for the culture, like the way of living, and all that stuff. There's going to be some stuff that will also add to your stress level when you don't get things on time. Or there's also going to be situations where you just don't understand why it's done a certain way. So just keep yourself open-minded to like things that are happening, and a lot of it could end up being really beneficial to you in some sort of way. Like, you know, you think about doing things the same way in your own country, but then as soon as you like adapt to this new way, it's like, okay, this is just, you know, this is how they do it.
Obviously, you come here to like experience a new culture.
Yeah.
So don't be expecting us to kind of hang around with foreigners all the time and eat foreign restaurants. Like, just venture out a bit. And it relates to the other stuff we said, like learning Thai. You will learn more Thai if you venture out and try different things, try where the locals are going.
Absolutely. Oh, and the last thing is stop compare. In terms of that same one, don't compare this country with your own country constantly. There's gonna be moments where that happens, but if you're constantly doing that, then what are you doing here in the first place?
I think that's a great tip.
Yeah.
And also with prices as well. Don't buy it back to your currency and do like that as well, because you're oh, that's cheap, but in Thailand it might not be cheap.
Yeah.
And it might not be cheap for your salary. So
exactly.
Which one are we doing now?
I think it was like keep yourself busy, and this one was like this specifically has to do with a mixture of the fact that the coronavirus has kind of resurged here a little bit, but also the fact that what I've noticed is that like for some of my expectations as well when I first came here is that I expected like every weekend I was going to be traveling to a new province or a new temple and all that stuff, and not that like you shouldn't expect yourself you shouldn't push yourself to do that. You should try to go out, obviously, but there's going to be weekends, there's going to be days where there's going to be nothing around to do.
But recently, like, I picked up learning a bit more Thai and video editing, which is great. It's more of an indoor. I'm more of an outdoorsy person as well, so it's even kind of harder for me, I guess. And I've kind of transitioned more to I spend more time indoors now. I think after COVID, I probably will still.
Don't assume that you're going to be traveling every single day, and don't let that discourage you in any situation.
You think you might get this idea from Instagram and YouTube, whatever, that people like there's going to be going to a beach and all these beautiful, amazing places. Riding elephants and shit. Don't ride elephants, by the way.
Yeah.
But it's not like that in reality. All right, so that's our 7 tips. I guess if you have any other ideas, then leave a comment down below.
Absolutely.
Of course, we could have made some more, but we don't want to go on forever.
Yeah, if you have any questions too, feel free to ask a question in the comment section as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'll check out this video on my channel so I can respond as well.
Check out the link below for Lewis's channel, and check out some of my videos on my channel if you want to hear any more advice from both of us in any sort of way.
Yeah, and all the links as well to stuff we've recommended, Ajahn.com and finding the flat and all that stuff, finding apartments.
We'll put that down in the description as well.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna say goodbye to the other camera now.
Okay. Yeah, because this one's
Okay. All right. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Sawasdee krap.
Sawasdee krap.